we're going to try a new feature which is auto launch.
It's going to go straight into the ground. Oh!
I don't know where it's going.
Okay, we've actually lost it.
Which field did it go in?
It was going over here. G'day, Stu from UAVfutures here, and welcome back to another episode of Tech Tuesday, where every Tuesday we get together, we talk about some new, exciting, or just funky tech in the FPV drone racing world. And today, well, I think we've got something a lot of people are going to be interested in, as some people might get their knickers in tonight, and it's going to open up a bit of a can of worms and controversy, because what we're going to be talking about is the new receiver module for your Fatsharks. It's the OWLRC, the OWLRX. That name's going to confuse me, but we'll talk about that a little bit. And I'm going to be sort of referencing the rapid fire a little bit as well. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put it on the bench, we're going to look at the text and the specs, and we'll look at all its features, all that sort of stuff. And then the one that I want to do, I just want to go out and fly it. Now I'm not going to pretend to be an RF engineer or anything of that sort of stuff, because that's not my qualifications. So really, I'm just going to be like any of you guys. We're going to put it in the goggles, find out how it works, do a few tests with it, fly on a few different drones, give you my impressions, and then we'll sort of compare it to how it goes with some of the others. Now the big one about this, it's probably the price. So if you've seen the rapid fire, I think it's about $150, and that is a heap of money as far as I'm concerned. The OWL, it's coming in at about $100, and then there's also some really cheap options that are on the other end of the spectrum, like the $20 options and stuff. So we'll be referencing them a little bit as well. So what we should do, let's dive right in, find out, is the OWLRX, OWL, whatever, is this new OWL receiver for your Fatsharks going to be a good upgrade? What can you expect, and is it worth your money? So let's stick it on the bench, start the Tech Tuesday review in 3, 2, 1. Rightio, here it is on the bench. You can see I got it in my HDO, so I'm just going to snap it out just here, and it does fit quite nicely as well. So you can see what it is. You just put it in. If you've got a pair of Fatsharks, so this is the module you're probably going to be wanting to put in here. Slides in, and then you get this little case. It's a 3D printed case. It does fit in quite nicely as well. So we'll clip that in there. I think just a little bit of firm love. There we go. And then you can see nice and snug, that thing. That's not going anywhere. So I've got to say, I really like it in the HDOs anyway. It fits very, very well. Now what I'm going to do, let's plug it in, have a look at some of its features. There we go, OWLRC. Now as an overview, I guess if you're brand new to this, these receivers, what it does, it works off a bit of a diversity system, picking up both the signals and sort of, I believe it meshes them together. I don't know the exact technical science behind it. All I know is the results and what I've been reading online a little bit. But yeah, essentially, I don't have the equipment to test that, but that's apparently what it is doing. And you got 3 buttons here, you put your 2 antennas on. I've actually been rocking 2 of the same antennas, and I guess there's the people over at Eastside Racing Group, they seem to be doing that quite a lot as well and getting some good results. So I thought I'd be testing that out. But anyway, we've got 3 buttons on here, and it's pretty much to go through the channels. It's very, very quick. Press the button up and down. On it, this side's down, that side's up. If you want to go up or down a band, you just hold it in for that little bit extra long, that little bit longer. So going through, it does high band and also low band as well. And then we've got a few different features. So we'll look at the features right now. You can see you can pick up a whole bunch of different parts. Go in here. Oh, here's how to favorite your channels. You just press it once. And, maybe if you want let's say A1. Okay, let's favorite that. I think that's actually Trevor's channel, all that sort of stuff. To go into the menu, hold the middle button. Here you can look at the channels. Here you can look at, if you want to go up and down the individual frequency. So if you've got something that you need to specifically tune for, that's very, very handy. Let's get back out of that. And then, excuse me. I think you hold down to go back out. Okay, yeah, we've got our favorites list. A band scan is actually quite interesting. I'll show you that in a second. Your drone finder, that sort of picks up on the street. You get it on your channel, and then you can it's going to sort of go colder or hotter. That is a very, very nice little feature, especially if you've got a little whoop or something that doesn't have a buzzer. It does work quite well. And then we can go in, look at our settings. We've got diversity. You just got a little tick mark there that you can turn on and off. Then we've got insane mode, and mine is enabled, and pretty much all that talks about is how fast is it going to switch between the diversity. So I think it's like, I'm going to flash it on the screen, maybe 16,000 times per second. It'll be on the screen anyway, an awful lot. We've got an OSD menu, your OSD RSI, some other little parts in here if you want to lock your favorites on, if you want to enable low band, all that sort of stuff. Now I'll show you the band scan. This is something I quite like. So nothing's actually plugged in at the moment, but if I get a quad and turn it on, it works a little bit differently. This will be good actually. I've got an old Talon that Jono printed me out a new little, I actually have no idea what this VTX channel is going to be on. So, oh, no antenna. Stuart, what are you doing? I'll put an antenna on here. Whew. Crisis averted. Rookie error. I'm sure the comments are going to light up about that one. Alright, so we're going to plug it in. And of course, you can see we're getting a few little parts in here. It doesn't look like it's going to be on the F band. Let's have a look. R band definitely looks like it. So it pretty much does it a bit differently. Very quickly, it scans and shows you. So it looks like it's probably on R there. High, I'm going to guess race 1. So that's what I would say this is on. Let me just check my goggles. Let's get back out. Let's go to race 1. We'll have a look in the screen. I don't know if you guys can see this. But yes, that's what it is on. So that's what this Talon is on. It is on race 1. So unplug these, put that to the side. Now, probably one of my favorite features about this is, look, and I don't know if this is going to actually come up in the DVR, because if it is, I'll be able to just put that on the screen. Let me just start some DVR right now. Let me rephrase that. Let me go put an SD card in here and then start the DVR right now. Now, even better, actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to record this on my GoPro and show you why I'm so excited. Now, this one, when you press the buttons up here, you can cycle through on the menu on the front, sort of cycle through your channels. I thought, now, whatever, that's not a big deal. I'll just take the goggles off, press the buttons on the front, no big deal. But then I actually tried it in the field, and I've got to say, I love the menu system when it pops up in your OSD. So I really, really like that. So what I can do here, let's see, hopefully that's coming up. I'll put the GoPro footage on the screen. It just brings up a whole, this is tricky, there we go. You can see it tells you exactly what channel it's on, going through there. Very, very easy to have a nice big menu. There we go, let's get to that top one. What's going flat now? Oh, great. Battery is going flat. Plug this battery's going flat. But as hopefully you could see, everything's beeping here. What's going on? But as you can see, GoPro's turned off. But as you could have seen in that GoPro footage, I love you. Press the buttons and you get a beautiful, nice big display across the front of your menu that tells you exactly what channels you're getting some frequency on. Makes it very, very easy. We were out flying the other day with my mates. Everyone was on race band. I could just press it, see exactly which channel had the strongest frequency. Jump in there, have a look at channels, jump back and forth. It was very, very easy. So the menu system on this is very intuitive and I like it a lot. It is, you know, hands down, I love that OSD. That's my favorite feature of it. I didn't think I'd like it, and that makes it even better for me. I was turned around and, you know, I would be using it all the time, especially if you're at a race event and everyone is on something like race band. Going up and down using these buttons is a godsend. Now, before we do it, take it out, fly it around, I will talk about some of the pros and the cons. So the pro versus the rapid fire right here is the price. It's coming in at around the 90 bucks, I believe. Check the link down below where this is 140 or 150. It doesn't do, like this one, you can get some black rolling screens and that sort of stuff if it isn't compatible. I did get some better compatibility with this one. We'll talk about that while we're watching the DVR though. I do wish the buttons were a little bit bigger because, you know, it's a little bit annoying on the front. They are so tiny. I love how well and snug it fits in here, but if they could just have a little bit of a bigger button or maybe, I don't know, a little extra part you could put on, it'll just make it that little bit easier, because at the moment I find myself using my fingernails, and maybe if you've got some huge sausage fingers, that might be a bit tricky to push in and out. But yeah, other than that, I think it's a fantastic little module, but don't be ashamed as well. I should unplug this drone. Don't be ashamed as well if you can't afford this, because I really think that FPV, it's all about getting people flying. Now, if you want a good upgrade, this is definitely a great one to think about for the money. But if you just want to use something like the $20, I think it's 23 bucks eSheen receiver, you're still going to get great results with that. Yes, it's not as high tech and doesn't do quite as an amazing job as this, but you're still going to get more than an adequate flight experience. And for four times less the price or something, that's definitely a good buy. I'll link that down below as well. But what we should do, let's go out, test out some DVR right now in the field, just fly it around. It won't be any sort of shootouts or scientific testing. I just want to do it. What was my experience like? I want to be a consumer like you guys. You put it in your goggles. How does it work? How does it actually perform? I think long range Tony's out there as well, so we'll check out what Tony thinks and yeah, just give you some impressions on how the OWLRC goes in the field. So let's do it. Go have some flying fun in 3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna touch it. I'm not even that mad yet.
What's happening, Tony?
We just set the Zod dart up. This is not the one that Stuart crashed.
Hang on, why did that one crash? Because you plugged in, buddy. That was not my fault. But anyway,
Maybe I landed next to you while you were flying.
Okay,
but anyway,
what are we doing today?
we're going to try a new feature which is auto launch. Haven't tried this before. God hopes it goes up, eh? So let's give it a go.
Yeah, well, as long as it goes up and doesn't quickly go
down. So there is an arming sequence which you need to have a look at. So
Yep.
you go auto launch.
Yep.
Launch mode.
And then-
Fly.
And then we arm it.
Engine on. Engines on.
And then we put the throttle at where we want after auto launch has finished. So when I give it a bit of a jerk, no pun intended, we go.
It's going to go straight into the ground. Oh!
60%. Altitude hold active.
It's not moving. What's going on? Oh, disengage auto launch.
U-turn wheel.
I don't know where it's going.
Okay, we've actually lost it.
Engine off.
Oh,
Engines disarmed. Engine
Return to home.
got it.
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up. Go click an altitude. You're going to go behind the trees. Altitude, altitude.
I'm trying, but I'm.
Engine.
You guys can see if you can see it line of sight.
Ready.
Oh, Tony!
It went straight into failsafe.
Disaster struck. Failsafe has kicked in. Tony's not happy. I'm sort of staying here looking after the gear. The team has descended, trying to find wherever Tony launched his ZH, whatever it is. The dart's gone. I don't think we're going to get that one back. I wonder if there's a GoPro in there. Right here, out here in the field, what we're doing, we're checking out the new receiver that goes in your Fatsharks, whatever side it's on, the OWLRC. I'm taking this moment, a bit of a break in the day because we just did a bit of a launch on Long Range Tony's new wing and it's gone. So somewhere out there. So the search party has gone out. I'm here looking after all the gear, but what we should do, I'm going to put this thing through its paces, show you some DVR, and we'll do a bit of a talk, a commentary, and find out, is it worth getting this new receiver module? How does it stack up to the rapid fire? All that sort of stuff. All right, let's do it. Okie dokie, on board, here we go, and look, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. I'm going to show you a montage of different quads, different environments, different power levels, all that sort of stuff to put this OWLRC from OWLRC, whatever, through its paces. And one thing I want to talk about as well, of course, DVR is always a little bit different than what you actually see in the goggles. But so far, I think this one is doing pretty well. I know versus the rapid fire doesn't really seem to like the recordings in the DVR quite so much. It can look a lot more messed up, but the OWL seems to be looking pretty true to life anyway when I was actually flying it around. Now here we can see we're on 25 milliwatts flying it around indoors. I'm not getting any breakup, any scrolling, which is one thing I did get when the rapid fire was on mode 1. It would often jump all over the place. In mode 2 it seemed to be fine, but the OWL in this environment, it was fine. You can see we're cleaning up from all the Christmas mess in here, setting up a little track to rip around in. In a moment we're going to take it outside. I think Tony was flying an Oblivion as well, so record some of his Oblivion. Yeah, here's his Oblivion footage. So flying that around, and this is on a different channel, and I think Tony's got it on a different power level as well, so it's a little bit higher. And overall, I wasn't getting any of the terrible reception that can occur sometimes on my rapid fire in some specific examples, but I couldn't seem to replicate that on the OWL. So that's a big plus for me on the OWL. Now, another thing I really like is the breakup that you get through this seems to be much more easy to decode or easy to understand. I know that sounds weird, but on the traditional type of receiver, here we're telling Tony, go through the tree, go through the tree. It was a long way away, so it would have been a bit of a walk if he had have stacked it. But when you're flying around traditional breakup, and here I was testing out, this is on the Wizard, and then that noise coming through, that's on the Wizard itself, so that's what I was seeing in the goggles, and that was with all the receivers we tried, so that's sort of no representation of the OWL, the noise you see there. But yeah, the one thing I like the most about the advantage of these receivers is the breakup that you get. It's easy to understand, it's easy to fly through. It's not like the static that's going all over your screen. Here, you get a couple of lines that go through the screen. I don't know if that's where it's stitching the image together or whatnot, but it is actually coming out really, really well. And I find, and here I'm just doing a little bit of wing chasing as well, using a CADX cam on another quad. And yeah, overall, the breakup, when you do get breakup at this, I find it much easier to fly through. So I really think this is going to be suited to those people if you want to get something where you're going to a lot of races or you're going to an event where there's a lot of noise. You need something that can cut that down. And if you're going to be in the place where you're experiencing a lot of breakup, I do feel like this new wave, this new generation, or this new tech in their rapid fire and in the OWL type of receivers does make a difference. But for the average punter, if you're just going to the park, you're still going to get like 80% of the flight experience on even some of those cheaper modules. But what we should do, let's send it over to Tony as well, see what he thinks. Okay, Tony, so this is the first, you're going to try out my new OWL module. Now you normally just rock. What's your current module in your Fatshark?
So I've got a real ACC module in there.
Yep.
With some
like the Furious type, the one with the 2 antennas and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. So it's this one here. And it's
Yep.
just
How does that go for you?
It's good. It runs the Achilles firmware, which I find is really good, and it get great range. When we fly the long range wing, we've had this one out with a helical antenna out to 7Ks, and that's brilliant.
Yep.
Never ever tried any other goggles, so it's the first time I've tried a pair of HDOs. So, and my first impression is that's a massive screen.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to talk less about the goggles, but what I do want to talk more about is this little receiver
the
box.
module.
We're flying that around, and also if you could press one of the change of channel buttons.
Yep, so press that.
Yep, and then what are you seeing?
Nothing at the moment. Oh, here you go.
Yep.
So the screen's suddenly gone grey.
Yep.
And it says channel mode band R, and then it brings up, there's a list of R1 to 8.
What do you think of that feature?
And I love it because what I like is it tells you the strength of the signal on each of the bands. So I can see here that R1's on 96%, and there's some R6 has also got 30 RSSI on it. So I'm going to go to R1, which I know I'm on, which is the strongest,
Yep.
and then when you leave it there, it automatically flicks to your
channel.
Your channel. That's awesome. So yeah, I love that. And in the top right hand corner, I can tell overlaid over the video, it says R1, and then it's got my video signal strength at 97, 98. That's brilliant. That's really
take it for a
nice.
spin.
All right, we'll try.
And a lot of people are going to get iffy about how we're using not a patch antenna, but I might have to do a whole nother video about that.
Yeah.
So we're just rocking 2 Omnis.
Yeah, okay. So. Wow, the picture is so clear.
Now that's probably a combination as well with your HDOs.
Yeah. Little bit 35. There's a little bit of break up down the bottom, but
Yep.
a little bit of horizontal flickering, which I'm not used to. So what does it do? Does it
So from my understanding is it kind of stitches the 2 pitches together rather than just picking the strongest signal.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty stable. It doesn't seem to be jumping between. It doesn't seem to be jumping between pitches. It's very clear.
Do you think
There seems to be a little bit of fog going across every now and then, but very, very flyable. A lot of horizontal lines, as I say, I'm not used to seeing in my other receiver, but you know, once you get used to that, yeah, it's very good, I reckon. Like when I'm over here, I'm assuming I'm flying in front of me.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's when I was behind, there was getting a bit of break up. So this is behind me now.
And is that where you're getting those lines?
And I'm getting a lot of lines back down here.
So I think those lines are what you're seeing instead of normal breakup.
Yeah, and so
So normally it'd be breaking up there, you're getting a lot more static, but you're getting a bit of the
now
lines
now I'm in front of me.
Do you find the lines easy to fly through or static?
Oh, very, very easy.
So if you had to pick between lines and static, what one do you find easier?
Probably lines is much easier. The static, I hate static. No, this is really clear, Stu. I like the fact that you get the numbers as well in the corner of the channel. It means one less thing I can put on my OSD. I haven't got to program it into all the different quads and wings. Yeah, I like it. I might also be swayed by the goggles too, because they're very nice.
That's true, that is true.
I don't mind the lines. They're infrequent when you're in front of yourself. And just going behind, like you say, there's a bit of snow.
Maybe if you turned, I wonder if just turn a little bit.
Hang on. Oh, hang on. Which way am I facing now? Don't.
Now you're facing it. Are the lines there?
Nothing at all. So I've got absolutely nothing at all. So facing this way, I'm going round the far tree. When I went round the tree, I got a couple of lines, but otherwise it's a great picture down here. Coming towards us, looking good. Now I'm behind us again.
Yep.
And the lines are just starting to appear now.
So those lines are what you get instead of static.
Yeah, and that might just be a case of the antennas on the module.
Nice, you like it?
I love it. That's really good.
Right.
And how much is the module, Stu?
It's about, I'm gonna guess I'm doing some maths here, maybe 110 USD.
That's not, 110 US, so it's at 150.
About 140
Australian. Yeah, well, when you compare that to the real ACC, which I've been flying with for the last couple of years, I think I picked that up for about $50 off Banggood. And I will say, for the value for money, that's been good.
Too easy.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Tony. Rightio, so there it is. There's my review of the OWLRC RX. That's getting confusing, but overall this module and comparing it to the rapid-fire for the money, I feel like this is a very, very solid choice. I feel like the performance of it is top-notch, and also I don't get as many compatibility issues, because I know when I fly around my rapid fire, when it works and it's compatible with your quad and everything is synced up perfectly, it works really, really well. But I actually fly mine around in mode 2, and I know there's a new firmware, all that sort of stuff, but I don't use it to its full potential, because sometimes this thing, I get big rolling screens and blackouts, and if it's not working perfectly, well, there's your drone. It can be very, very disorientating. You're going to lose your drone. This one, I don't find that is happening. So it's kind of a toss-up. If you are willing to put in the money and get the perfect receivers, the perfect VTXs, the perfect cameras, sync it up to this, and you know you're not going to have any issues, I do feel like you're going to be getting better performance. But again, that's a lot more money. If you just want something that seems to be a bit more compatible, and look, you're still going to come across some cameras that it doesn't like and all that sort of stuff. I feel like I had less problems with the OWL, and also it is a little bit cheaper, around $100. So that's really your two options when it comes to these premium receivers. But I'd love to know, what do you guys think? And also want to say, if you're one of those people out there, like I'm going to put a link down, because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money for a receiver. There is nothing wrong, as far as I'm concerned, with using one of the older style RXs. Like I think some of the Eachine ones are on special for like $23 now. So, you know, if you want to get that, you're still going to have an awesome time. It's still going to be, as far as I'm concerned, a fantastic receiver. So whether you get a really cheap one, don't feel bad at all. It's still going to be, I think, more than enough for what most people are used to. If you do want to drop the cash and maybe step it up to something like the OWLRC RX, you're going to have just that little bit better time, and again, it goes up exponentially. You don't get twice the performance or anything like that, and it just goes up, I feel like, even a little bit better with the rapid fire, but you got to drop a lot more cash and make sure your quads and cameras are compatible. So that part, I find, is a little bit tricky. So, I don't know. There's my interpretations. I'm rambling. I know that I just wanted to be like you guys. What's it like in the goggles flying around? That's my findings. What did you guys think? Definitely drop your comments down below. Subscribe for more Tech Tuesday rapid fire OWLRC sort of action. I'm going to do some follow-up videos about the rapid fire a little bit more. Other than that, all that other stuff. And as always, happy flying. Beautiful day. I think I'm actually going to go for a skate after I edit this video. I've got Cal coming down. I can't wait. Anyway, happy flying. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this little bit of a shout out at the end of this video. I've been watching this channel called Dumb Thumbs, or Two Dumb Thumbs FPV or something. It's going to be linked as well. It might pop up there. They've been doing a lot of work on the rapid fire. They've flied around in different environments, and also the OWL. So definitely shout out to him, because he seems to be putting the work in as well, doing some tests. And anyway, it's all about sharing that FPV love. So yeah, go drop in and check out his channel. It's pretty cool stuff.
I don't believe it! Auto land works! What? Auto land fail safe? Okay.
Can't believe that.
What happened? What happened? Where was it? So I think when we, in the haste of taking off and making Stuart's lovely video,
Yep.
I didn't realise that there was a return to home switch on as well. So when it finished auto takeoff,
Yep.
it went into an auto return to home.
Okay.
So I didn't have any control. My instant reaction was to kill the arming switch, and then I couldn't rearm it again.
Okay.
So it was going down, and for somehow...
How did you find it? That's the part I don't understand.
We had video, so we had
Directional.
antenna. We worked out it was on that side of the field, and because it landed in long grass, its tail was up like that.
Too easy.
And so we saw the black fin sticking out.
And you thought, yep, just going to run over, grab that?
Love that one piece, we're doing it again.
Okay. Happening, Tony?
Well, having done a little retrieval on this one, we're going to adopt a philosophy that the great adventurers used back in the 1800s. If you don't succeed, try again. So,
Or die stranded in
trying.
Antarctica and have to eat your mates.
So we're going to try again. I've got no funny switches on.
I'm going to be recording the DVR for people too on my OWL.
Alright, so arm it.
Launch mode.
Yep.
Engine on. Engines arm. Angle mode. Battery
Throttle.
critical. 11%.
Alright, your radio's saying all sorts of things.
Alright, you ready?
And you just, oh yeah, you're going to put your goggles on? I thought that's what you said you were doing this time. And you're just going to give it a little...
In a minute.
A little jerk. Oh, deja vu.
Working now.
You got it?
Got it now.
We're in the field where you flew over.
Yeah, show me where you were.
Alright, I'll take you over there.
Very quick. Oh! Hey! happened then?
Didn't land very well.
You need some advice from Wingman Jono. He's not going to be happy.
No.
Engine off.
Well, Stuart, that's 2 crashes in 2 flights, and she's still in one piece, which is remarkable, really.
Do you prefer auto launch or just throwing it normal?
I prefer doing it normal, but I think the auto launch has got a place for people who probably struggle with holding a controller while they're throwing it themselves.
Are you talking to me there?
I never looked you in the eye while I said that, Stuart.
No worries.
Such accusations.
No worries. Thanks, Tony.
All right, mate.